Hey everybody, and welcome back to Fed News, the April through May edition as we head towards Night of Champions. Let's get started. So in wrestling news, Doug Summers in talks with UWA Developmental, Butch Reed is also in talks, and Elijah Burke has signed with UWA Developmental. There's a proto picture of him right there. He might be eligible for the draft, which comes up very shortly. It was a late signing, of course. Of course, there's still hundreds of more people that have yet to announce that they've signed with the company, officially been released. But with the draft coming up, I do believe about 10 contracts are ending, so you will see potentially 10 new people. Of course, the rules I've already stated. So Velocity kicks off with Simon Dean defeating Johnny Gargano to win the Hardcore title. The Good Bros defeated Rock and Roll Express by pinfall, earning themselves number one contendership towards the USA Tag Team Championships. And Chris Candido defeats Justin Gabriel to retain his TV title. Over to Superstars, though, as Darren Young would open up against William Regal, defeating him. Gemini defeats Nasty Boys by pinfall. Yokozuna defeats Heath Slater by pinfall. And Nathan Jones and Braun Breaker defeat LOD by pinfall to become the new number one contenders for the tag titles. And Cesaro making his main event, let alone main show debut, when he defeats Roddy Piper, Chris Jericho, and Batista to become the number one contender for the U.S. title. Over to week 2 now as Doink the Clown defeats Don Morocco. Sylvan defeats Giant Gonzalez by pinfall. In the main event, sees Simon Dean retain his title over Johnny Gargano. Over to Superstars, though, as Roddy Piper defeats Larry Zbyszko by submission. Marjane defeats A-Train by pinfall. Nathan Jones and Braun Breaker continue to dominate in the tag team division, getting prepared for their world title opportunity, or the world tag team title opportunity. Brian Pillman defeats Bob Backlund by pinfall. In the main event, sees Yokozuna defeat Darren Young by pinfall. On to week 3 now as Reggie defeats Diamond. Doink the Clown becomes the new hardcore champion, defeating Simon Dean, and Chris Candido defeats Sylvan to retain his TV title. Over to Superstars, though, as William Regal and Batista ends in a time limit draw. LOD defeated Gemini by pinfall. Jerry Lynn defeats X-Pac to become the number one contender for the light heavyweight title, and Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Owen Hart by pinfall. The main event sees Cesaro defeat Randy Savage, current Intercontinental Champion Randy Savage, in the main event by pinfall. On to week 4 now as the original Midnight Express defeats Johnny Gargano and Justin Gabriel, preparing for their tag team title defense against the Good Brothers. Titus O'Neil defeats Norman Smiley by pinfall. Main event sees Doink the Clown retain his title over Simon Dean. Over to Superstars, though, as the Usos defeat Larry Zbyszko and A-Train by pinfall, also gearing up for their tag team title match at the pay-per-view. Chris Jericho defeats X-Pac by submission. The Nasty Boys defeated Roddy Piper and Marjane by pinfall. Batista defeats William Regal by pinfall. And the main event sees Yokozuna defeat Bob Backlund by pinfall. And here's what the match card looks like. It's going to be Nathan Jones and Braun Breaker versus the Usos. Cesaro versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. title. Chris Jericho versus William Regal. Owen Hart versus Randy Savage for the IC title. Owen trying to regain his belt back. Yokozuna versus Batista with number one contendership on the line again. Jerry Lynn versus Brian Pillman for the light heavyweight title, and Cody Rhodes trying to regain his title again after losing it to John Morrison in that triple threat match. So Velocity's Night of Champions took place with Reggie defeating Doink the Clown to become the hardcore champion. Justin Gabriel defeats Chris Candido to become the new television champion. The original Midnight Express defeated the Good Bros to retain their USA Tag Team titles, and Titus O'Neil defeats The Fiend by pinfall to become a 2-time international champion. Over Night of Champions, though, Jerry Lynn defeats Brian Pillman to become a 2-time light heavyweight champion. William Regal surprises and defeats Chris Jericho by pinfall. Cesaro defeats Shinsuke Nakamura to become the new UWA United States champion. Batista defeats Yokozuna by pinfall. Nathan Jones and Braun Breaker become the new tag team champions by defeating the Usos. Randy Savage defeats Owen Hart to retain his Intercontinental title. And John Morrison retains his UWA World Heavyweight title over Cody Rhodes by pinfall. Here's a list of the new champions. Will they stay champions the same? Obviously, we're heading towards King of the Ring, where there will be a King of the Ring final, as well as Batista versus John Morrison for the world title. And also, Macho Man is potentially a new challenger. We'll see if he makes it to the finals or if he's eliminated from the King of the Ring. Only way to find out is to tune back in next time to see who remains champions and what's happening. Also, the fact that the show is coming to year one rather, is coming to an end very shortly. Which 10 superstars or so are leaving? Who's taking their place? who's going on hiatus. Stay tuned for next time. As always, feedback is welcome.